You are not here to build a life from burnout. You're here to create from frequency. If you're a visionary, creative, or soul led entrepreneur craving a space that meets you beyond the noise, I created the Luminous Sanctuary for you. It's a frequency based Substack offering free soul transmissions and a paid inner sanctuary where you'll receive guided meditations, quantum energy work, and soul reflections to rewire your nervous system, align your field, and create from your essence, not your effort. Come explore the options at luminoussanctuary.substack.com, or you can tap the link in the show notes. Your future self is already there. There are moments when your system starts to feel the shift, when the old ways stop working, when no amount of mindset work, to-do lists, or pushing will move the thing. When you feel like you're standing on the edge of something real and alive, but can't quite step through on your own. That moment is sacred. It's not a breakdown, it's a signal. You don't need more information. You need resonance. A space where the truth of who you are is held so clearly that everything not aligned begins to dissolve. That's what these one-on-one energy alchemy sessions are. Not healing from a wound, not fixing what's broken, but activating the parts of you that already remember. We work in the field where energy shifts in real time. We move through the body, the breath, the quantum, and we let your soul lead. If you've been feeling the nudge, that quiet inner voice saying, you don't need another plan, you need to anchor your frequency, this might be for you. These sessions are deep, alive, and intimate, and we don't follow a script. We follow your highest truth. If you feel the pull, you can reach out directly to explore a session, or click the link in my bio to read more and book. I'm not here to market these. I'm here to hold the field for those who are already feeling it in their bones. Welcome to Grounded is the New Sexy, the podcast where we flip the script on what it means to truly be attractive in today's world. Here, we believe that true beauty comes from within, and that cultivating a strong, centered inner world is the key to feeling free, empowered, and fully alive. So settle in, take a deep breath, and let's redefine what makes you shine from the inside out. Hello and welcome back to Grounded is the New Sexy. I'm delighted you're here today because we're diving into something that, even after all our conversations on frequency, alignment, and embodiment, can still rip us up if we're not conscious. Our episode today is called Magnetism of Being Real, Why Authenticity is the New Strategy. And we're going to explore why trying to stay high vibe all the time can actually block your magnetism, and how your raw, ungrounded truth is exactly the thing that draws soul aligned clients, partnerships, and opportunities into your field. We're about to go deep into what authenticity really means in a world obsessed with perfection, and how hiding parts of ourselves contracts our energy, and why showing up as our full, gritty, messy, beautiful human self is the new frontier of sexy. And then, of course, I'll take you through a live activation that will help you feel into your own realness in a way that's immediately noticed. So let's settle in. Grab a cup of coffee, find a comfy seat, or maybe even step outside if you can, and let's explore the true magnetism of being real. I want to start by acknowledging something we've all experienced at some point: the pressure to be high vibe, to only share the sunny, shiny parts of our journey, to hide our shadows so we don't bring anyone down. Social media, wellness culture, even many spiritual circles can unconsciously reinforce this. You see perfect quotes on a white background that says, always stay positive, or people post crystal selfies with captions like good vibes only. And at first, it feels uplifting, but over time, it can become a form of spiritual bypassing, a way of ignoring anything that feels heavy or low. So here's the catch in all this: when you only allow yourself to be high vibe, you're actually creating a split in your field. On one hand, you're broadcasting positivity and light and joy, and on the other hand, you're repressing real feelings like anger, confusion, grief, anxiety, which are all human. And you're doing so because they don't fit the high vibes only narrative. So if this sounds familiar, maybe you've caught yourself scrolling through your favorite feed, feeling inadequate because your messy reality doesn't look like their curated glow. Or maybe you've told yourself, I can't share that struggle, or I just need to be inspiring. And that internal loop, telling yourself to hide the dark parts, creates energetic friction. You become a container that's split into two frequencies. You're light on the surface, and you have buried heaviness underneath. And guess what? When our energy is split, it leaks. It cannot hold a clear, unified signal. A split energy field is like a radio playing two stations at once. One frequency cancels out the other. And in that state, your magnetism drops. People and opportunities can't quite tune into your truth because part of you is hidden behind a mask of high vibe only. It's like acting like a character and everybody can see that you're acting. So here's our first big truth bomb. True magnetism thrives on wholeness, not perfection. When you stop trying to look perfect and instead allow all of you, your shadows, your mistakes, your tears, to be known, you become a unified field. That unified resonance is irresistible to souls who are looking for real connection, real transformation, and real guidance. Okay, so what does authenticity actually mean? It's not a hashtag, it's not a marketing pitch. Authenticity is simply being fully yourself in each moment without pretending to be someone you're not. It's raw, messy, unfiltered, and yes, sometimes awkward or uncomfortable. There's layers to authenticity too. The self honesty. You check in and name what's really going on inside. I'm scared. I'm angry. I'm ecstatic. Or I feel stuck. You don't pretend everything's fine if it isn't. There's a moment by moment choice. Instead of presenting a polished image, you allow words and your tone and your body language, everything, to reflect your true experience in that moment. Maybe you start an Instagram reel and your voice cracks because you're catching your breath. That's authenticity. A willingness to be vulnerable. You share your failures, your doubts, your dark night moments alongside of the wins. And you allow your people to see you both as the teacher and the human who still needs to learn. And now I want to preface, because this is a really important part of boundaried honesty, because authenticity doesn't mean just dumping every thought on everyone. And it doesn't mean sharing every single vulnerable part about yourself. It just means being honest within context, sharing what's useful, what's relevant, and aligned with your integrity and your audience's capacity. So, whenever you choose to do these four things, the self honesty, moment to moment presence, vulnerability, boundaried honesty, your field becomes coherent. There's no contraction between who you are and what you project. You become, in essence, a living hologram of truth, the same frequency inside and out. And here's why authenticity calls in magnetism of manifestation. So think about the last time you met someone who felt real. Maybe they told you, I don't know what's next, but I'm figuring it out. Or I'm not perfect. Here's where I messed up. You felt instant relief, a resonance that said, me too. Authenticity creates that moment of resonance. I see you. I know what that feels like. And that is the bedrock of soul level connection. When you show your edges, your rawness, your bumps, people recognize themselves in you. They trust you because they know you've walked a similar path. So when you hide behind high vibes only, you might inspire, but you don't invite. You remain just an idol on a pedestal. On the other hand, when you say, here's where I'm messy, here's where I'm learning, you're handing others permission to show up in their wholeness too. That magnetizes soul alchemists, dreamers, co creators, and anyone who's done with the masks. But there can be some obstacles on this path to authenticity. I want to be authentic, but how many times have we started that sentence? Let's talk through a few obstacles that keep us from leaning into our raw, grounded truth. We have a fear of judgment or rejection. We worry, if I share that I cried this morning, people will think I'm weak. Or if I post about messy business metrics, I'll lose credibility. But the reality is, everyone who's doing real work has messy mornings and uncertain moments. Owning that fact helps you build a bridge, not a barrier. Perfectionism and packaging is another obstacle because you think, I need the perfect lighting, a perfect edit, perfect words before I share. But behind the scenes, you wrestle with perfection in every aspect of your life, in your business, in your work, your relationships. But the reality check is perfection is a straitjacket that suffocates spontaneity. People connect to immediacy, the excitement of something fresh and alive, even if it's not polished. And like I've said in the beginning, the conditioned high vibe identity might be an obstacle. Maybe you've built a brand or a self image around always being uplifted. You remember being taught that good spiritual people don't get upset. But the reality is that kind of high vibe only stance is itself a form of rigidity. The most powerful alchemists walked through human suffering and embraced it, and that's what made them potent channels of transformation. And then there could be some confusion between being authentic and oversharing. You want to be real, but you worry that if you share too much, you're going to overwhelm people and violate their trust. And you struggle to know what belongs in public and what belongs in private. And the reality with this is authenticity requires just discernment, not just dumping everything. The goal is to serve the collective with what's relevant and helpful, but not to free fall into every thought or emotion. Boundaries are a huge part of authentic expression. Before we drop back into the episode, I want to take a moment to honor something important. I've recently been moving through a deep inner evolution, and with it, something became clear. There's a body of artwork I created from a former frequency. It's beautiful, it's sacred, and true for who I was then, but it no longer matches who I am now. And so I'm releasing it. Not because it wasn't powerful, but because it's complete. Its codes have done their work, and its time for them is closing. This is part of my devotion to only hold, offer, and create from the frequency I now embody. Anything less creates static, and I am here for signal. So if you've ever felt called to one of my earlier pieces, this is the moment. I'm offering them a final window to be received before I retire them fully. It's not a clearance, it's a ceremony. The link is in the show notes if your soul feels this. And to the artwork that held me during so many versions of becoming, thank you. I release you. I rise. Okay, so we know authenticity is magnetic and that high vibe only can block our field. Now let's talk about practical ways to step into that authenticity every day so it becomes second nature. So we can check in daily to what is true right now. Each morning or during a midday pause, maybe start by asking yourself, what am I actually feeling? What thoughts are running in my mind? Write down the first 3 words or phrases that come up, no matter how small or messy. This simple practice trains your inner field to stay tuned into real time experience rather than defaulting into public persona. And instead of posting only highly curated content, sprinkle in frequent micro reveals. For example, maybe a story where your voice cracks because you're emotional, or a post that says, I'm not sure what to do next. I'm feeling stuck, but trusting the next step will come. A reel of you attempting a new recipe and accidentally burning it all. These small glimpses accumulate trust. People see you're human, so they lean in. Every flaw you share becomes an anchor for someone else to remember their own flawed perfection. When you say, I had a panic attack in public yesterday, you're holding a frequency anchor for anyone who's ever felt panic, letting them know they're not alone. Saying, I'm scared is powerful, especially when you follow it with, and yet I'm choosing to move forward. That pairs raw truth with energetic stance. You're not a victim, you're a sovereign being choosing to be real. That combination is incredibly magnetic. Okay, let's move into a real time activation to help you embody this magnetism of being real. You can do it seated comfortably, or laying down, or even standing, wherever you feel safe. But if you are driving, save this part for later. Close your eyes. Take a deep inhale through your nose, feeling your belly expand, and exhale through your mouth with a gentle sigh. Do this 2 more times. Inhale deeply and exhale, sighing it out. And one more breath. Inhale through your nose and feel your belly expand. And exhale, release everything out. Place one hand on your heart and one on your belly, and just feel the rise and fall of your breath. As you breathe, imagine any masks or walls around your heart softening, dropping away like petals falling from a rose. In your mind's eye, picture a screen or a canvas in front of you. On that screen, imagine what your high vibe mask looks like. Maybe a perfect smile, a flawless filter, or a spotlight shining on only the bright parts of your life. See that mask as an object. Notice its color, shape, texture. Acknowledge its purpose. It was protecting you, helping you show up in a way that felt safe. Now gently invite that mask to shatter or dissolve into rose gold dust. Watch it break apart without any judgment, just transformation. As it dissipates, feel a release in your chest, a slight unclenching, a softening of tension. Now scan your body from head to toe. Notice any places where you still feel mild tension, fear, or self-judgment. Maybe it's in your throat, maybe in your belly, maybe in your jaw. One by one, place a hand on each spot. Breathe into it and say silently, I claim all of me. Light, dark, messy, radiant. This is my truth. This is my magnetism. As you say each phrase, imagine a small rose gold flame igniting at each center of the tension, transforming it into love. Now see yourself standing or sitting in a field bathed in morning light. You are fully you. No mask, no editing. As you stand here, feel your entire field as a unified rose gold hologram. Bright, warm, and radiating in every direction. Whisper or say silently in your head, I am magnetized by my realness. My raw truth is my superpower. Hold this vision for a few more breaths, feeling the magnetic pull of your authenticity. Take one more final deep breath in. As you exhale, imagine any remaining fragments of high vibe only dissolving completely. Wiggle your fingers and toes, and when you're ready, open your eyes and bring your awareness back into the room. Beautiful. How does that feel? You've just stepped into a moment of raw, unfiltered presence. No mask, no filters, just your human, luminous self. As you move through your day, notice when your mind starts whispering, I better be inspiring, or I better not share. Each time, take a breath. Recall that rose gold hologram and remind yourself, my magnetism is in my realness. If you feel called, tag me on Instagram sharing one micro moment of realness from your day. Maybe it's a screenshot of you in your pajamas or a caption that says, I burned lunch and that felt actually kind of liberating. Let's normalize realness together. And remember, the old Earth's energy strategy was always hide your shadows, only show your shine. The new Earth's magnetism is shine your full self and watch your people gather. Thank you for leaning into this realness with me. If this episode spoke to your heart, please share it with someone who's ready to let go of this high vibes only and step into their raw, ungrounded truth. Until next time, stay soft, stay real, and stay magnetic. If today's episode resonated with you, I invite you to take this work even deeper with my free guided meditation. It's a simple, beautiful practice that will help you anchor into stillness and connect with the vast intelligence within you. You can download it now at christylittleartist.com/free-meditation, or you can click on the link in the show notes. If you try it, I'd love to hear how it felt for you. Send me a message on Instagram at christylittleartist and let me know. Thank you for being here, for sharing your energy, and for showing up for yourself today. I'll see you in the next episode. Thank you for joining me on Grounded is the New Sexy. I hope today's episode offered you a moment of clarity, a spark of inspiration, or simply a reminder to be gentle with yourself. True strength and beauty come from within, and every step you take towards grounding yourself and creating inner freedom is a powerful one. If you enjoyed today's conversation, don't forget to subscribe and leave a review. It helps others find the show and join our community. And if you're feeling called to dive deeper, check the show notes to learn about ways we can work together on this journey. Until next time, stay grounded, stay free, and remember, you're exactly where you're meant to be. Take care. I'll see you in the next episode.